Check this.
Hello, this is Socially Triggered, and this video is going to be on Steven Crowder's Change My Mind, and the topic of Change My Mind, Socialism is Evil. Now, this was a very interesting video that Steven put out, and it was his first live Change My Mind, where he had a young man named Youssef come up and really propose a point that should have changed Steven's mind.
Disagree. I would love to hear you change my mind.
Okay, well, what's your position on the minimum wage?
Well, hold on a second. Is this your changing my mind? I want to make sure.
Yes, I want to get started.
Okay, my position on the minimum wage. Yeah, you know what? I'm not a fan.
So you think there shouldn't be any minimum wage at all?
Yeah,
Should
not
be
a fan.
zero.
Not a fan.
Okay, are you against illegal immigration and legal immigration from poor third world countries at the scale that we've been having it so far?
Am I against illegal immigration? The answer is, what was that? Volume. Well, we're going to do everything we can. Like we said, this is last minute because we're not necessarily friendly here. I'm against, no, I mean, they don't consider us friendly. So like I said, we appreciate you supporting us. Of course I'm against illegal immigration. But again, socialism, I believe the idea of socialism, let's do this before we go on, okay?
Right.
Because this is something, and I think this is important, this is something that we often see from both the right and the left. See, we started with the premise where I made a statement, socialism is evil.
Right.
And you've moved on to different questions, different topics. So I'd like to first, before we move on, if it's okay, let's define socialism.
Okay.
How do you define socialism? So I know that we're agreeing on that premise.
Socialism is a system in which the state redistributes wealth from what it would be under a pure capitalist system.
Okay, I think we agree on that. Okay, and then I think it's important to but don't boo. This is just an actual discussion. I might be wrong here. And what do you think I mean by evil, or what would we both agree the definition of evil is?
Harmful to society.
Not necessarily to society. I believe morally reprehensible. It's immoral. Okay. So as we both agreed, socialism is basically a governmental control of the distribution or means of distribution or production. And when I say evil, I mean I believe that is immoral. So
Okay.
Can we both agree with that?
I don't agree that it's evil.
No, but we agree that that's what I'm saying. That's my position.
Yes.
Okay, so what part of my position do you disagree with? Again, the goal here is to change my mind, not score points.
Well, I'm trying to convince you that your own objectives, if you're a conservative, cannot be achieved under capitalism.
Okay.
And so I'll
Sure.
give you an example of that.
Yeah.
You have a lot of Republicans like Paul Ryan who are obstructing Donald Trump. Well, hold on. You cannot deny that he is a big capitalist, and he has lots of capitalist donors that would like nothing more than to increase their profits. I think you can agree with that. And people like that have been opposing immigration reform for decades because they believe that mass immigration will lower the wages of the working class and
Yes.
increase their profits.
Now, I would say a lot of what you just said is correct.
Okay.
In that many conservatives, Republicans, believe that mass immigration from countries like, say, Mexico,
Okay.
from quote-unquote third world countries, could lower the wages. Yeah, I do believe
Yes.
that a lot of Republicans believe that. Okay, so I would agree with you on that.
So if you impose a minimum wage, you're not going to have this mass immigration coming in because the companies that are taking these illegal immigrants and taking these low-wage immigrants, if they had to pay them $15 an hour, we wouldn't have mass immigration like we're having right now.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know that I agree with that premise. So let me kind of go, because first off, before...
Now, they were talking about the minimum wage and how having a minimum wage is socialism, because it is opposing a socialist philosophy onto capitalist free market. And Steven said he was kind of opposed to minimum wage. Personally, I'm opposed to it as well. However, Youssef made a very strong point. The point is that if you have capitalism and you allow it to be a free market where there is no minimum wage, as a capitalist, what you want to do is get your labor costs down. So the way you do that is you encourage immigration. The more immigrants, well, that increases the talent pool. And as the talent pool grows, well, that in turn reduces the cost for that labor. It's simple supply and demand. As the demand decreases because the supply is increased, well, then the price drops. So what will happen is, as a good capitalist, you're going to try to bring that price down. So you just keep on importing people, and that will drive the cost down. However, what does that do to your country? Well, it erodes your country, because what you've done is you've reduced the standard of that country. You've brought all the labor wages down. So what happens is it just erodes your country. It makes your country, instead of it being a first world country, become a third world country. And in a true capitalist society, well, that's what you would end up forcing to happen. If you want to stop that kind of erosion of the economy, what you can do is you can impose a minimum wage. This forces capitalists to say, okay, well, I can't pay them less than this amount. So once you import enough people that brings it down to that amount, well, then it doesn't make sense to import any more, because there's no gain. You only erode your society, and there's no benefit to that. So minimum wage can act as a safeguard against capitalism being abused in a negative way. Now, personally, I see a second option, that if you can impose a nationalist identity to these capitalists, where they see that there's merit in protecting their society, protecting their nation, so that they don't want it to become a third world country with cheap labor, then that can also be a safeguard against this kind of action by capitalists. So Stephen, I think, was taken off guard by Yusuf's argument, and as a result, I think he lost the debate. I think he should have changed his mind, because in this case, some socialism could be good, and you can't make that generalization that all socialism is bad or all socialism is evil. So what is your opinion? How would you address Yusuf's argument? Is socialism evil? And if so, why? And if it isn't, why not? So please give me your feedback. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. This has been Socially Triggered. Bye.